Hi everyone, welcome to week 13 of our 2018 Home Organizing Challenge. All right, we are just moving our way through the home. I hope that last month's exercises with your laundry really improved your laundry process and you're feeling like you can be a little bit more on top of that laundry cycle. We are making our way into one of the areas that most people were probably dreading, which is paper. Paper tends to be the number one complaint that I get as a professional organizer when people reach out for help. They just don't know what to do with it. There's so much coming through the door. They don't know what to save, what to let go of, and the stuff that they save, they don't know where to put it. So there's a lot of questions that center around paper. And I'm here to tell you that this month you are going to take control over the paper monster that's been taking over your house. So we're going to break it down into very manageable steps throughout the next few weeks. And the first step this week, we will be focusing specifically on incoming papers. So anything that's coming through your door, what are you doing with it the instant that it enters your home? I want you to spend 15 minutes every day this week really focusing on what you're doing with those papers. Are you the type that walks through the door with your hands full, maybe your mail's in your hand? You walk through the door and the first thing you do is the big release. Whoosh, right? And you let go of everything. Maybe you pile that paper on the kitchen countertop, on the dining room table, on the chair next to the door, wherever you can, sometimes even on the floor, wherever you can find a spot for it. This week, we are going to retrain our brains. We are going to really start doing some really important work towards setting up a paper system. And that all starts with your inbox. So that's the first thing that I want you to do this month is to create an inbox system. So an inbox is just exactly what it sounds like. It is some sort of container. It can be, a decorative basket, it can be a plastic basket, it can be something that goes with your decor, or it can really be the lid of a shoebox. The only requirements that I have for your inbox is that it is not too deep. I really want you to try to limit yourself to about 1.5 to 2 inches maximum. And the reason that I want you to look for something that's a little bit more shallow instead of deep is because I want you to set a limit for yourself. I want this basket or this container to be, a built-in limit that says, okay, it's time to go through those papers. If this gets much higher, things will start cascading and then it ends up all over the counter. So that's your first step this week, is to create an inbox. That is one central location where all of those incoming papers are going. You are no longer just allowed to stack papers wherever you land in your house. Some of us stack papers by the entryway, some are in the kitchen, some may be in bedrooms, some might be in a home office. They're all over the place and we need to centralize it. And you're going to do that this week with your inbox. Now the second step this week with incoming paperwork is really setting up a time to go through that inbox. Now, some people go through them, once every few days. Sometimes it's once a week. This will really depend on the influx of papers, how many you're getting, what types of papers you're getting. So I want you to take a look at your schedule and figure out when is the best time for you to go through paperwork. Is it maybe 5 minutes at the beginning of the day before everybody wakes up? Is it 5 minutes at the end of the night before everyone goes to bed? Try to figure out the best thing that would work for you and your family. Now, when you are going through those papers, instead of looking at each individual paper and thinking about the information that's on that paper and what do you need to do with it, because sometimes that can be very overwhelming. I want you to think in terms of action, okay? When we process this inbox, you want to start separating things out, separating those papers out in terms of what action do you need to take next. As you can see behind me on the wall, we use a vertical sorter, and this has worked out really well for our family and for many families that have begun using these as well. The way that we have ours set up is there are separate categories based on action. So we use 4 categories. Really, the majority of them we use are 3. The bottom one is bills. So those are bills that need to be paid, go in that bottom folder, and I've got the label right over here so you can see it. The second one, so the next one up, those are things that need follow-ups. So those are phone calls that need to be made, things that need to be reviewed, maybe letters that need to be sent, correspondence that needs to be followed up on. And then the third is to file. And so those are things that actually need to go in our family filing cabinet in our home office. So this just gives us kind of a middle place to hold it. It's kind of a holding cell, right? Of, you know, those papers that I've already gone through. Maybe they've been processed and so now they're up and to be filed, but I don't have time to file them right now. And instead of going in the home office and just making another pile, I've got a separate folder here. So when I can schedule myself, you know, 5, 10, maybe 15 minutes that week, I can take that folder, go into the home office, and I can quickly file those things away. Now, if you are saying, but I don't have a home office or I don't have home folder set up and that's my problem, I promise you, over the next few weeks, we will get to that. We will talk about filing systems. We will talk about binders versus folders. We are going to cover every little piece of paper that's in your home. But this week, I really want you to stay focused on the stuff that's coming through the door, because we need to get a handle on that before we can start to create a sustainable filing system. All right, guys, 15 minutes every day. If you have any specific questions, as always, leave them in the comments, and I'm so excited to help you guys get control over the paper monster in your home. All right, have a great week. Bye-bye.